Hello YouTube, and today Prodigious is here with another deck profile. Now this deck is actually inspired by the fact that I recently discovered, in terms of looking up this particular main big boss Digimon for this deck, actually came into existence via a manga, and in the manga it used this very same evolutionary line that we're going to use in this as a springboard to evolve into what it was. Apparently in the manga, if I remember correctly, King Drake can't talk. King Yggdrasil added some of his power to two particular Digimon, allowing them to digivolve into forms that they normally could not take on their own. And those two Digimon is Zed-Garurumon and today's deck, VictoryGreymon. Let's get into it. Now, this deck I haven't actually pinned down a proper Digi-Egg yet. But, other than that, it seems like a fairly decent deck that you could probably run anything as long as it's a Koromon. That's the main thing. So take your pick of what color and flavor of Koromon you want to run. And the reason why I say that is because all of the Agumons that we are about to show you are just like our Shine Greymon Burst and Ruinamon decks, of where they evo for free on top of a Koromon egg. If you use anything else, these Agumons actually cost 1 to evo on top of something that is red or yellow. So keep that in mind. But moving forward, let's get into it. You've seen this guy before. Agumon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Greymon in its name and 1 Marcus Daemon among them, and place them the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Then we are also running 4 copies of Agumon from BT13, and just a quick reference, the last one was from BT12. This one has main once per turn. For the turn, one of your Marcus Daemon is also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon and can't digivolve. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. And then we have Agumon from EX4. Start of your main phase, if you have a red or yellow tamer in play, gain 1 memory. Next, moving into our champions, we're running 4 copies of VictoryGreymon from BT12. When digivolving, if you don't have a Marcus Daemon in play, you may play 1 Marcus Daemon from your hand without paying the cost. Inheritable, your turn, once per turn, when one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended, minus 2000 DP on a Digimon of your opponent. Then we have 4 copies of VictoryGreymon from EX4. Start of your main phase, if you have a red or yellow tamer in play, gain a memory. And you're inheritable, your turn, once per turn, when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, draw a card. And of course, we're running only 1 copy of it because all we're allowed to run, and that is VictoryGreymon from BT13. When digivolving, search your security for a yellow or red tamer among them and play it without paying the cost. If you do, recover 1, then shuffle your security. Inheritable, your turn, once per turn, when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Next, we have 2 copies of VictoryGreymon from Starter Deck 7 security effect at the end of the battle, play this card without paying its cost, and on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. And then, just as a quick finisher, we are running a single copy of Agunimon so that we can Evo on top of a Tamer and swing for game. Now into our ultimates, level 5s, we are running 4 copies of VictoryGreymon from EX4. It has when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 4,000 DP for the turn. And the inheritable is when one of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon and all their security Digimon get minus 4,000 DP for the turn. Then, our other level 5 is 4 copies of VictoryGreymon X Antibody. Now, this guy can Evo on a red or yellow level 4 for a cost of 4, but he can Digivolve on top of a VictoryGreymon for only 1. Now, what he does is, when Digivolving, you may play 1 yellow or red Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then, if VictoryGreymon or X Antibody is in his Digimon's Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn for each yellow or red Tamer you have in play. As well as your turn, for each Tamer you have in play, this Digimon gets 1,000 DP. So he will Evo on top of our VictoryGreymon, doing a little bit of some X Antibody action. And in the process, he will minus DP on more stuff, giving us a Tamer in play. And on top of that, he makes for a half-decent beat stick by himself just because of our Tamers. And now, for the boss monster of this deck, I'm running 4 copies of VictoryGreymon. In the manga I read, there was a couple of Tamer kids. They met Yggdrasil, and Yggdrasil passed on to their Digivices the ability to have their Digimon Digivolve not into the corresponding Digimon like you would think here. Like you would think this guy would Evo into ShineGreymon, but no, instead he evolved into VictoryGreymon. The other one was the Galgamon line, and it ended up Digivolving into Garurumon. I think that's kind of interesting. Now, what VictoryGreymon here does is, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. For every Digimon your opponent has in play, add 2,000 to the maximum this DP-based deletion effect can delete. Then it has all turns once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, if you have a Tamer in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. So when this guy comes into play, he automatically tries to delete something of at least 6,000, possibly more depending on how wide your opponent goes. And then all turns, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, as long as you have a Tamer out, you automatically get to delete the highest DP Digimon your opponent has. So this is going to be a kind of like a control deck where you get a little bit of the best of both worlds when it comes to ShineGreymon. You got some control, but you also got some aggro. This guy brings to the table the control aspect. So all you have to do is work in conjunction with your Tamers and your option cards to make it so that way you can delete even the weakest of things your opponent has, especially if they play more than one Digimon on the field. Because once you delete the weakest thing, you can automatically delete their strongest. And that's what this guy does. Now, as for our backup Digimon, he's going to be more the aggro side. Since this deck looks like it should have evolved into a ShineGreymon, I figured why not. I'm going to run 2 copies of Starter Deck 7 VictoryGreymon. He evos from a red for 4. He has security attack +1, and he has piercing. So if you could actually get both boss monsters on the field, you can swing with VictoryGreymon into an opponent's suspended Digimon, get piercing, do 2 checks, and then because something got deleted, the next highest DP thing your opponent has will get automatically deleted because of VictoryGreymon. I think that's pretty sweet. Now, as for our tamers, what we are running here is going to be 3 copies of Marcus Damon from BT4. He's going to be a memory fixer, and he has when one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name, other than DoroGreymon, Burning Greymon, and Dex DoroGreymon, for whatever reason they feel like they have to have that long line of text. But anyway, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. Then our other tamer that we're running 2 copies of Tcg from BT14. He has start of your main phase. One of your Digimon with vaccine trait gets plus 2000 DP. And all of our Digimon are vaccine. It also has your turn when a card is removed from an opponent's security stack. By suspending this tamer, gain a memory. So when we do hit their security, we can suspend him to gain a memory. And then last but not least, I'm running 2 copies of Cody. He has start of your main phase. If you have a yellow Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you may suspend this tamer to give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2000 DP. Now keep in mind, once we reach our top end and have nothing else on the field, Cody here is not going to be a whole lot of use. But he is going to be a tamer that we have on the field. That's all that matters. So for the early game, Cody here can help us out. Now what I may do is I may decide to go ahead and change out Cody for a Marcus Damon. I'm just not really sure yet. I just felt like the Cody helping out early game would be really nice. Plus, I'm pretty sure that if we do get a second stack building and going until we do reach that other level 6 mega form, him in conjunction with what the rest of the GeoGreymon and ShineGreymon line is already doing would be really good for helping to control the board. Now, on to the options. We actually have some sweet options in this deck that I am looking forward to trying out. I'm running 2 copies of VictoryGreymon's signature card, Trident Gaia. This card says, main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. If a Digimon with 13,000 DP or more is deleted by this effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So guess what? This card works great with our Tcg, because if we happen to delete a big boss monster of the opponents with this card, we can suspend our Tcgs, and suddenly this card actually became a little cheaper. Security effect is to activate the main effect. Then I'm running a single copy of Trident Revolver. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less, then you may play 1 tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying the memory cost. Security effect is to activate the main. Then we have a single copy of Sunrise Buster, because it's all we're allowed to use. It has, you may play 1 yellow or red tamer from your hand without paying the cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus of 3,000 DP for the turn for each yellow and or red tamer you have in play. Security effect is to activate the main effect. And then last but not least, because I feel like this would actually work really well with this deck as well, just for the giggles, I'm running a single copy of Radiation Blade. This card's main effect says up to 2 of your Digimon gain security attack +1. It has no security effect whatsoever. So this seems like a pretty nice card. And it's also what makes me kind of think about trying to run Marcus Damon over the Codys. Because then all of a sudden I could turn Marcus Damon into a Digimon for the turn and swing with it after I play this card. But it all comes down to whether or not I actually have enough memory to turn Marcus Damon into a Digimon plus play this. But either way, for 3 cost, if I have 2 Digimon on board, to suddenly play this and then give 2 Digimon both security attack +1 from 1 card, that's pretty strong. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. I think this could be a nice little deck that can actually do a little bit of both of the 2 things that our Shine Greymon deck tried to do. VictoryGreymon seems like he can be very aggro, but also very good at control. This has been Prodigious, and I will see you next time.